In 2018, I wrote an article called Continuous Excuse in Development on my old blog. I still have it. I'm going to show it to you right now. And I stumbled upon this article and I figured it would be very fun to record a video about it because I think what I said 6-7 years ago is even more true than it was before. Let me just switch to my other screen here and let's take a look at this thing. So let me just move the camera here. So as you can see, in 2018, in June, I wrote an article named Continuous Excuse in Development, which of course you can read fully if you want. But if I scroll a little bit down, because I don't want to go and read the whole thing just for the sake of the video, you'll see that I wrote, when I invented this term CED, I wrote some of the things that fall into that acronym, right? As you can see, continuous complaints about the language of his own choice, continuous complaints about the complexity of the tools of his own choice, continuous complaints about the complexity of the code of his own creation, picks the opposing sides in all discussions and feeds on complaints of others, shares random social articles on how terrible something is, self-reflection skills are very low, proposes no solutions or help to any of the complaints, has weak arguments or no arguments at all, and blindly follows his Twitter heroes. I really wrote this article 6-7 years ago out of my heart because back then I already saw when programming was becoming a mainstream, when it started kind of becoming more accessible, when there was a huge influx of people coming in, the community started changing. A lot of people who didn't understand how things work or who didn't even want to understand how things work, they would simply, instead of understanding it and spending the time, they would just do these things. Unfortunately, things have not gotten better. Also, since I started streaming on Twitch and since I started this YouTube channel, I keep seeing more and more of this. I keep seeing very low action type of people. Drama seems to be selling really well. Dramatic things, titles, hard opinions, absolutists are actually selling really well. And it seems to me today that more of the hate that you bring to these videos, more of the very fixed, unchangeable, immutable opinions you bring in, more of the viewership you get. What I want to share today with you is that I think this is really bad, and I think that I would never hire a person like this. I'm sure that many of you, if you're working, have met a person like this. You're gonna go with this person over for a beer, and that person is gonna basically complain about pretty much everything, or at work is gonna point how terrible something is, etc. Unfortunately, these things have no value. They don't bring anything to the table apart from the fact that it's just a waste of time, right? You want to surround yourself with people who are actually doing something, who are reactive, who are not proactive, who are proposing solutions instead of criticizing the solutions, who are trying to factually understand things, not because of the discussions per se, is because that's literally your job as an engineer, is to engineer things in the best possible way. And you and your team are working towards the same goal of building great things. So there is no competition there. There is no I'm right, you're wrong. Everything that we do every day at our work should be focused on building great things. And sometimes we're going to make some mistakes. Sometimes we're going to do something, that's not great. But, as the time goes by, and if we are proactive and if we apply opposite mindset, then and all of these points, we will actually achieve that, right? So in simple words, instead of being a complainer and a doomsayer, I would say be a proactive, not reactive person. Provide solutions, right? Cover up your arguments with something that has value, right? Etc., etc., etc. I think this article sums it up still even more than it did before. There are some things maybe that I could rewrite today. There are a few sentences that maybe I could enforce now because, my mind, my opinion and experience might have changed. And there's one thing that I actually want to share with you, and this changed my life maybe a decade ago. I worked with NASA scientist Eduardo Siergar. I was working on an AI project. This was maybe a decade ago in Sweden. And he told me this sentence. I remember we were sitting in a train we were traveling to Copenhagen, where I live now. I used to live in Helsingborg. And he said, hey, this saying by Einstein, Alex? He said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes looking for the right questions to ask. And this sentence has engraved that day to me, like more than anything else. It has literally changed the trajectory of my life, especially my engineering work, because back then I realized how crucial it was and how crucial it is even today to say this is what it means to be an engineer. This sentence literally describes what it means to be an engineer of any kind, a software engineer, mechanical engineers, asking the right questions, looking at the problems from different angles, genuinely trying to and striving to solve these problems, and then indulge yourself within the tools, within the frameworks, within the codes, which are basically just merely the reflection of the things that you imagined, to implement. So try to think about this. This is a very deep and very nice one, and try to basically use this list as something that can drive you forwards. Like if you want to become a great professional, and you know that at one point in your career, once you move from a junior to mid-level and then mid-level to senior, if you ever move away from a senior developer, and if you ever want to become a tech lead, a team lead, a CTO, a founder, you have to build your social skills, your emotional skills, and you have to be the person that's gonna motivate others. So if you want to work on that already now, and even if you're a junior, whatever you do the opposite of this, and I 100% promise you that without a doubt you're going to do really great. Let me switch back here. So don't be a person that continuously complains. Be the person who continuously provides solutions, delivers good energy, person that's proactive, not reactive, and surround yourself with people like that. Hire people like that. Hire people that are genuine and that want to work towards this one goal without pointing fingers, without blaming, without saying how something is terrible, because you want the people who are willing to make the terrible great, not just people who are going to talk and bash whatever they stumble upon. This is it for today, guys. I hope that you can read this article as well. If you liked this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye-bye.